Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter, in the workshop, at the workbench. So today, got a couple of topics. I did want to mention to you that I ordered and picked up a new pencil sharpener and some erasers. The erasers are to clean the diamond because mine original is getting a little small. So I figured I'd pick up some of these. I've used these for drafting many, many years. So I'll leave links to this down in the description box if you want to pick them up. They're not very expensive. So following my excursion out to the other building and running the Dewalt Power Planer, I wanted to follow up by seeing what it takes. And I don't know if you can see it. So we planed in this direction and everything's nice and smooth here. But right here, you see this dull area? That's tear out. I don't know if you'll be able to actually see it and how deep it is. It's pretty bad. So remember that spot. We're going to work on that. So the first thing I want to do, if you remember in a previous video, let me see if I can't tilt you up here a little bit. Oh, shaky. A little nervous there. That's better. If you remember in a previous video, we talked about how to eliminate tear out, where the number one thing, you start with a freshly sharpened iron blade. You take thin shavings and you move your chip breaker closer. So this being pine, it shouldn't be that difficult. But I do want to put a fresh edge on my 4.5. So I thought I'd get in close and show you precisely how long it takes me to go from a sharp blade to a super sharp blade. So this plane is cutting perfectly fine, but I want it to be super sharp. So first thing we do is we pop the hood, take the hood off, take the blade set out, or the double irons as they're known. And we will use a screwdriver to loosen, remove the cap iron, brush off any dust, a couple dribbles of fluid, a piece of paper towel, and to show you this edge was freshened probably a couple of times already. Okay. So using the heel, we move that water around, the fluid. Actually, I'm going to wipe that off. I just felt a piece of grit. I just felt a piece of grit. So drop, 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 drop. All right. Are you ready? Heel. Lift up until you're at the cutting edge. So heel to toe, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel for a burr. There is a little one, but I want a little bit extra off the one corner, a little bit extra off the one corner. That's it. Ruler technique. One, 2, 3. Wipe off your stone. Strop. Bevel down. Heel to toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at it. And then the back or the face, just lay it down flat and pull it to remove any burr. And that, my friends, is how I sharpen. Okay? And that is, and I'm looking at the cutting edge, I see reflection. I don't see any chips. That's done. So I don't want to hear any excuses from any of you that it takes too long to sharpen. Okay, I'm feeling the front of the cap iron has some pitch on it. So I'm just going to go across the strop once, and that's clean. It doesn't take long to sharpen. It takes a while to learn how to sharpen. I'll agree. So we're going to want to set this fairly fine because of the tear out. But I don't think we need to go microfine. That should be good enough. I don't know if you'll be able to see that glint? That's how much I have exposed. It's not a whole heck of a lot. See that? It's not much at all. A couple of ways to put your blade set back in the plane. Some people do it down like this. Put your finger on the front so you don't hit that. You can go that way. Some people like to go this way. I typically have gotten used to just doing it this way. Center it. Center your lever cap. Nice, nice. Check for exposure. This blade has a very slight camber to it, which should give us a nice, smooth finishing cut. And then you retract it and back it off so that there's virtually no cut. So let's see how we did. We want to be planing in this direction for this area and this area. here we're going to have to get creative. So, can you see? Oh, let's see. Yeah, you can see. There we go. So the area of contention is between here and here. You hear that? That's torn grain. So we start in the back, no cut, no cut. And we're getting a cut right down the middle. So super fine shaving. Actually, I could go finer. Now using a smoothing plane, like the 4.5 jumbo smoother, you want to make sure you take long cuts over the whole board to try and keep it flat. Now I want to see if you can hear this. Right across that torn grain. You hear that? Lay the mic down here. So you hear the sound change. You hear that. So as of right now, it is improved. It has improved almost to the point where I would say you could sand it, but we're going to go and try to do it a little bit better. This is the fine work. This, you're not bulldogging through everything. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skew my plane across the board now. What that does is it changes the angle of attack, causes more of a slicing action. Now I'm going to try it the other way. That felt good. So there's many different ways to solve a challenge. Now I know this is only a small, inexpensive piece of pine, but this could be any wood for any project. This side, the heartwood side, is smooth. Hear that? Smooth. Get over to the sapwood side, and there's a rough spot still. And I'm going to try something. It might help, it might not. I'm going to try going in this direction once. There we go. That's it. You can see the area of contention here, but the said tear out is now gone. There is no tear out in here. So this is now ready for finishing. Maybe a light sanding. And while I was out there planing on the planer, remember we did this piece of poplar as well. But it is all fuzzy now, going through the power planer. And the one thing we didn't talk about was what sometimes power planers do, and that's called snipe, where it leaves a little line. I can see it here. Okay? Where it takes a little bit extra off at each end. So just to show you what I would do after power planing, would take your smoother and you smooth it out. You see how it didn't plane right away? Because there is a snipe on the end. You can see it. At least I can see it. You can actually feel it too. It's maybe 1/1000th of an inch or so, maybe 2/1000ths right here. That's snipe. What some woodworkers do in production is they would cut their wood to length an extra 2.5 inches on each end, so 5 inches. So you leave your defects out towards the end, and then you just cut them off. But we don't have to do that. We have hand planes. There are ways to minimize snipe. I'm not going to get into much of it right now, but you can have a sacrificial board that rides ahead of or alongside of. You can also make sure your bottom face is perfectly flat, so when the pressure rollers engage, they're not pushing the board down in the front or in the back. So there you go. This board is now smooth and flat because we flattened it through the thickness planer. And just to show you the difference, that's a hand plane surface, and that's a power plane surface. Hear the difference? Rough, smooth. That's about it for today. Thanks for stopping by. It means a lot to me. I hope that you found something useful, helpful. Not much entertaining here. It's actually getting comfortable in the shop where humidity is down to 54% and it's only 77 degrees. So like, subscribe, and share. Head out to your shop. Go make some shavings. Walter out.